Hello there. Feeling all this peace in nature that's always there for free. I was coming up to see where I was going to do this channeling, and this trail was calling me. And I saw where I was gonna leave the actual trail that 99.99999 most of people take. And I'm like, Sagittarius moon, let's color outside the box, let's get wild. And I took, and I didn't know where it was going to lead. And it merged with this other trail that I always take. That's, I would say, 50%, well, maybe not 50, 30% of the people, the spirits that come up here take. And I was feeling how the message, when I saw that trail that I thought was going to lead up to the top, where you can see the 360 view, that it was going to lead a certain way, and it connected to that trail. And so the message that's wanting to come through is, what trail are we on? Whose trail are we on? Are we on our own trail? Are we on somebody else's trail? And if you're on your trail, your personal trail, you're going to feel a lot of fulfillment and a lot of magic and a lot of newness. Because as we journey along our trail, we're going to be coming up and experiencing all these beautiful, magical moments because we're on our trail. And with everything that's going on in the world right now, this massive, massive shift, this birth, you're going to see people that are on other people's trails. They're following blindly, or you're on your trail and you're living your life. You're feeling this sense of fulfillment that brings this, it feels, can't even describe it in words. You feel fulfilled. And wherever you are is perfect. We're on a long journey that has many twists and turns and valleys and hills and so many experiences to experience and many, many people to meet along the way. And as we enter this dark purge of the moon, getting ready for the new moon, as we come closer and closer towards the end of the year, earthly year, we come towards another part of winter. We're going to feel different feelings and allow them to rise and see what they have to show us. And I feel that you can come up into these sanctuaries of nature where you can just free yourself of all the layers of soot. That's the word that's coming through, soot. Whether it's social media, whether it's the news, whatever is creating soot, you can come up to these places of sanctuary, whether it's your backyard, whether it's the park by your neighborhood, whatever you choose, it really, really brings a sense of clarity and openness and wildness. And again, I'm feeling that word wild. Be wild. Because when you're not tapped into that part of yourself, we all have that part of ourselves. It's the taming of people, a small group of people that are separating humanity, that are instilling all this fear. And I don't want to focus too much on that. I just wanted to tap. So when you're in your wild nature, sacred nature, you feel free and you can enjoy the city and go down into the where there's large groups of people, and you can enjoy because you feel that wildness within you, and your vibration that is emanating from your aura that is anchored to our sacred Mother Earth, Earth's magnetic field to our magnetic field. And you can go and shift the matrix. And all of a sudden, the people around you are like, wait a minute, why am I following this narrative? It's not true to me. What is true to me? My truth here, my soul, my spirit, my inner compass, my inner guidance. What is true for me? And whatever that is, it's perfect. And as we move along our journey, I hope that you're finding a place to be wild, to let that aspect of you unravel and express itself, because it's juicy, it's sensual, it's hot, it's very otherworldly. And like when you go into the forest, like say the redwood forest up north, and you can feel this wildness. You can't put a word, you just feel it. Like all your senses are heightened. Like, ooh, there's bears around here. There's cougars. There's wolves. You just feel that. And why do you feel that? Why do we feel that? Because it's in us. It's in us. And when you tap into that, nothing can tame you. You're in your Shakti. You're in your power. And from that place, you can really, in your full expression of all that you are, all that we are, you really start to create from that place, and it's a whole different experience. So play with it. Play with that aspect of yourself. And if you don't know what that is, as two crows fly, ask yourself the question, what is my wild side like? What does my wild side like want to express? And sit with the question. And you may sit like I'm sitting with your eyes closed, and you'll get an image, maybe of a giraffe, a crow, a raven, a snake. It could be anything. And you'll know because it'll come from deep down inside of your being, and you'll tap into that wildness, and you'll feel what that is, and you can start to channel that and express yourself. And when you're cooking a meal from that place, whoa, you're gonna get a whole different meal. When you're painting, you're gonna get a whole different type of painting. When you're doing whatever it is that you do to create what you came here to do, your mission, your purpose here on planet Earth, on Mother Earth, to serve yourself and humanity, when you're coming from that place, you're gonna have a whole different experience, and it's very unique, and it's so wild. So, on that note, I decided to tap into the Wildwood Oracle deck to see what messages want to come through as our sacred sun starts to set. And it's a very, very special time to connect with your soul, your spirit, however you choose to meditate. It's called the ambrosial hour, an hour before sunset, and in an hour after the sun starts to rise. There's a window of opportunity to connect. So let's see what cards want to pop out. Let's see. Nice. Okay. So here we have insecurity. And if you're feeling insecurity, ask yourself, why am I feeling insecurity? And don't push away whatever comes up, because it's showing you something underneath that insecurity. There's something that wants to come up, and allow it to come up and see what it has to show. There's no need to feel insecurity if you're secure within yourself. So maybe that might be it. Maybe are you not feeling secure within yourself, which can only happen if you tap into yourself through whatever tools you use to connect deep within yourself, however that is. And here we have the wheel. And the wheel continues to turn. And I am being called to honor the reversal of it. And because it shows up in reverse, it's the reason why there's an insecurity is because we're not allowing the wheel to turn and allow the cycles, the wheel of Mother Earth, the cycles of nature, to allow them, to happen. Because if you do allow them to happen, allow the wheel to turn, the wheel of life, you come out of that insecurity. And it's amazing because then we have dedication. So the arrows of insecurity can then, using alchemy, you can use them for a dedication. And here you see what is used to hunt bow and arrows. She's using it to create music. So I'm getting this message for someone to dance. Dance. Dance to whatever music you like. It'll help run the energy. And if you're choosing to stay at home, or you have to be at home for whatever reasons, you can really use music, sound, to alchemy and move the energy and dance and dance and dance and dance and dance. Move, move, move. It'll really, really, really help. And it'll get you out of toxic waters. And the swan mates for life. And no one has any obligation to anybody outside of themselves. The only obligation we have is to ourselves. And when you honor that obligation, you're able to be there for others, not out of attachment, out of service. So, coming out of it, our insecurities into the security within ourselves, allowing the wheel of life to turn, using those arrows and instead create music, dance, 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 coming out of those toxic waters, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, however they show up, and empower yourself like the bear. And bears are very, very, they're very gentle, but can be very ferocious. So depending on what wild energy needs to be tapped into, nobody messes with bears. When you go out into the woods, and if you see a bear, especially a mama bear with cubs, woo, watch out. Even a male bear will kill cubs to mate, to continue the wheel of life, to continue life. So these primal instincts that we can tap into within ourselves, that if anything outside of us tries to disempower us, we can stand in our power, our wildness, and honor the bear. And it's amazing. I flipped the deck and we got this card, and underneath that card is salmon. And what do bears eat? Salmon. Just to really clarify the message. And it feeds on salmon so it can get nice and plump and fat, so it can survive the winter. So I'm getting the message to how are you nurturing yourself? Through nourishment, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And it has nothing to do with the outside at all. It has to do within you, within your soul, your spirit, your inner sanctum. So I leave this video with the question, how are you nourishing yourself? And if you're not, why not? And how can you start to nourish yourself? Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. How can you start to nourish yourself so that you can feel fulfillment in yourself, in your day, in your night, wherever you are on Mother Earth, whether it's the sunset or the sunrise. How are you nourishing yourself? And I hope that you find a way to nourish yourself so that you can really, really enjoy and tap into all that you truly are, so that you can come from that place of balance and create an amazing life. And I'm getting a message here. Here we have a sweater being woven. So whatever you're weaving, meaning your life, you can stitch in. You know how some people stitch their initials? Okay, the message is coming in very clearly. You can stitch whatever you want into the fabric of the wheel as it turns, the wheel of life. You can stitch in with gold. Ooh, gold. And see? Gold. You can stitch in gold and affect your life. Instead of allowing the outside to infect, you can affect your life with gold as the wheel turns and dance however that unfolds. And this is beyond right or wrong, good or bad. This is beyond all those linear labels. And I hope that you tap into yourself and really own your wildness. So have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I'm sending lots of blessings and lots of wild streams of golden energy your way, so you can tap into that side of yourself that wants to be expressed so much. Satnam.